Hi dears, welcome to Nursing Classroom. Today I am going to engage you next few minutes on one of the important topic in medical and surgical nursing, that is intraoperative management of patients. Let's go to the session. We will see all the below topics in this session: introduction, purpose, surgical team, goal of care, type of anesthesia, anesthesia administration, stages of anesthesia, intraoperative complication, and finally nursing assessment. First, introduction. Let's start with knowing what is intraoperative care. The intraoperative phase starts from the time the patient is admitted to the operating room, that is, patient is brought into the surgical theatre, and to the time of anesthesia administration by an anesthesiologist, performance of the surgical procedure. And finally, the patient is moved to the recovery room or post-anesthesia care unit. All these activities from patient brought to operation theatre, surgery and finally moving to recovery room are referred to intraoperative management. Next, purpose. What is the main purpose of intraoperative care? The main purpose of intraoperative care is to maintain the patient's safety and well-being. We will have to do our part in maintaining the safety of the patient. Nurses have to ensure comfort during surgical procedures. Maintain homeostasis during the procedure. Practice strict sterile techniques to decrease the chance of cross-infections. Another important aspect is taking measures to prevent hematomas from safety steps or from positioning. Next topic, surgical team. The surgical team is broadly divided into two teams: the scrub team or sterile team. They perform the surgery, apply sutures, handle all surgical equipment and materials used in surgery. The other team is non-sterile or non-scrub team. They usually support the surgery but won't take part in the actual surgery itself. The scrub team includes surgeon and assistant surgeon who performs the surgical procedure and aids the surgical team. Scrub nurse works under the direct supervision of surgeons. They handle tissues, assist suturing and provide hemostasis. Next team is non-sterile or non-scrub team. This team includes anesthesiologist, the one who anesthetizes the patient and maintain the patient's anesthesia and condition throughout the surgical procedure. Other people in the non-sterile team are OT technician and circulating nurse. The circulating nurse manages the operating room. They protect patient's safety and health by monitoring the activities of surgical team. One of the main role of circulating nurse is to continuously assess the patient for sign of injury and implementing appropriate interventions. The circulating nurse also monitor the patients and documents and specific activities throughout the operation to ensure the patient's safety and well-being. Next comes the goals of care. Just a few minutes ago, we have seen most of the items in the purpose. The goals are almost same as we discussed in the purpose. Homeostasis, promote the principles of asepsis, prevent hematomas. Another goal is safe administration of anesthesia. While the anesthesiologist is a physician who specifically trained in anesthesiology, anesthetist is a person who administers the anesthetic. The anesthetist discusses and assesses the patient prior to surgery. Before the patients enter to the operating room, the anesthetist visits the patient to provide information about anesthesia and answer if patient has any questions. Another goal of nurse is commonly referred as 3 R's. They are right patient, right procedure and right site. We have to ensure right patient is brought to the surgical room, right procedure is followed and it's performed on right site. It's not only the surgeon's responsibility but also as a nurse it's our responsibility too to ensure the 3 R's are rightly followed. Next topic, types of anesthesia. There are two types of anesthesia. Let's see one by one. First, general anesthesia. The patient will lose all sensation and consciousness. Second, local anesthesia. In this, the patient loses sensation in the area of the body but remains conscious. Next topic is about administration of anesthesia. How the anesthesia is being administered. General anesthesia. It is administered by two routes. One, intravenous infusion, and the other one is through inhalation of gases. Gas is given either through mask or through the endotracheal tube. The second type of anesthesia is local anesthesia, which is predominantly administered by topical, epidural, spinal and nerve block. Next topic is stages of anesthesia. There are 4 stages in general anesthesia. They are stage 1, beginning anesthesia, stage 2, stage of excitement, stage 3, surgical anesthesia, and the final stage, stage 4 is referred as medullary depression. Let's see one by one. Stage 1. Stage 1 begins with induction of anesthesia and ends with patient's loss of consciousness. The patients may have ringing, roaring or buzzing in the ears, and though still conscious, unable to move the extremities easily. Stage 2 is characterized by struggling, shouting, talking, singing, laughing or even crying. This can be avoided if the anesthetist is administered smoothly and quickly. The pupils become dilated but contract if exposed to light. Pulse rate is rapid and respiration are irregular. Stage 3 is surgical anesthesia. The patient now is unconscious and is lying quietly on the table. Respirations are regular and pulse rate is normal. The last stage is stage 4 or medullary stage or overdose. It is marked by hypotension or circulatory failure. Let's see what are the intraoperative complications. Nausea and vomiting. If nausea and vomitings occur, we can turn the patient to the side. Edge of the table can be lowered. Use a basin to collect the vomiters. Suction may be used to remove saliva and vomited gastric content. The other complications are hypoventilation, oral trauma, hypothermia, hypotension, cardiac dysarrhythmia and peripheral nerve damage. The last topic in this session is nursing assessment. Monitor the vital signs like BP, pulse rate, temperature throughout the surgery. Observe the patient and record the time when patient moves legs, hands and when sensation of the legs and the toes return. Positioning. Patient should be in a comfortable position as possible whether he or she is awake or asleep. The operative area must be adequately exposed. No interference with the patient's respiration. Patient should be able to breathe normally at all times. The nerves of the patient must be protected from undue pressure. Patient safety must be observed at all times and record the details wherever necessary. We will see some of the common questions from this topic. Before going to questions, let's have a quick recap. We have started with meaning of intraoperative management and the purpose of it. Then we have seen the surgical team, in which saw about sterile and non-sterile team. Then we discussed goal of care. Under anesthesia, we have seen the type of anesthesia, how it is administered and stages of anesthesia in general anesthesia. We have briefly discussed about complication and finally about nursing assessment. Finally, let's have a quick look at some of the common questions. 2 more questions. When we call intraoperative phase, enumerate the purpose of intraoperative care, routes of anesthesia administration, meaning of general anesthesia, write characteristic of excitement stage. 5 more questions. Stages of anesthesia, list down the intraoperative complication, write about surgical teams. 10 more question. write in detail about intraoperative care management. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Please press the bell icon to get notification on our new videos.